Author's note. This video is my review of A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, based on the Esquire article Can You Say Hero by Tom Junid, directed by Marielle Heller, published by Sony Pictures, TriStar Pictures, Tencent Pictures, Big Beach, and Mr. Yuri Productions, starring Matthew Rice, Susan Kelechi Watson, Chris Cooper, Enrico Colantoni, Marianne Plunkett, and Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. Rated PG.
Do you know what that means? To forgive?
I originally saw this film back in December of 2019, 1 week before I saw Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. With the coronavirus pandemic ongoing, I'd figure now's the time to review this unexpected hit of a film. Lloyd Vogel, a cynical writer for Esquire magazine, has been tasked with interviewing the legendary Fred Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but the interview ends up being more of a soul-searching for the journalists in need of emotional help.
What is it?
It's about how people make a magazine.
What surprised me about this film was how accurate it was to the original Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It felt like an extended episode, utilizing elements from the original series on PBS, even going as far as to include what the series was like behind the scenes. The recreation of the backgrounds, from Rogers' own home to the land of make-believe, felt very accurate from the show I used to watch.
No, I'm not going to be ambushed.
Come on, Lloyd!
But if this were a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood episode, it's a rather dark episode. All about anger, emotional pain, bitterness towards a relative, and forgiveness. What also drives the film is the yin-yang relationship between Fred Rogers and Lloyd Vogel. While Fred is more optimistic and cheerful, Lloyd is more cynical and down in the dumps. Two polar opposites of the emotional pole. Speaking of Lloyd, he goes through a whole lot through this film, especially around his estranged father Jerry. I did point out that Lloyd is cynical, but it's because of what he went through with his father. Heck, he goes through a lot more as the film goes on, trying to fight the demons of his own past, struggling to put it aside to forgive his own father. The kid's gone through a whole lot of heartache just to make it through.
Well, you must be very strong in order to hold it like that.
The biggest surprise of this film happens to be Tom Hanks' portrayal of Mr. Rogers. Even though Hanks sounds deeper than the late Fred Rogers, he somehow managed to nail the role, portraying the legend like he was still around to this day, capturing that same energy that Fred did during the 80s and 90s. His willingness to help those in need are also part of his character as well, pushing the narrative of what made Fred Rogers great. Kinda makes me want to rewatch the old episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood out of curiosity.
I love you too, Dad.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood captures the essence of Mr. Rogers into a movie that reflects on confronting Lloyd's own demons and finding forgiveness with his past. I recommend you check this film out on DVD, Blu-ray, or digital when you get the chance. And after all, can you say, hero? I knew you could.
That you made today a very special day by just your being you.